I've been coined like the Housewives Whisperer because I've worked with like, I think it's probably like 40 something by now. In like
40? Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Girls Podcast. I'm Raquel
and I'm Natasha.
We have a special guest today if you guys are watching on YouTube, which is so exciting. You're our first in-person guest of 2021.
Wow, I feel so honored.
I know. So before we introduce you, of course guys, make sure to like, subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell, and of course leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts because it helps us in podcast land. Alright, enough of that. Antonio Postorino.
Hi.
I never say your last name, so it's like, I'm like, how do you say your last name?
Yeah, it's
so
a tongue
funny.
twister for sure.
Okay, so today's episode all about being an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, because he's killing it, guys. Like, he's got it figured out. He writes, he's a writer, a podcast host, PR, like everything you could possibly want to do that's cool, you do.
I try.
What kind of answer is that?
I try. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Own it.
Yeah, no, it's good. You know, I like throwing everything at the wall at once. I'm never the person who can only do one thing ever. I just can't sit still. So 10 projects at once, that's the way I live my life.
I feel like we're all these people that's like the busier, the better, even though it's chaotic and you're so stressed out all the time, but you're like, the chaos is normal and I feel at home.
And then you wonder why you have anxiety, Raquel.
Right. But that's what a therapist is for, so it's fine.
Exactly. Just pay your therapist.
Exactly.
I love, so going into 2021, of course, we've talked about vision boards. We're like basically trying to prepare ourselves all for the year, right? So one of the things that we wanted to do, I think throughout January, is just have people like him, like entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs that not only can motivate you to, whether it's starting your passion project or, you know, just get the foot ground running. Is that how you say it? Foot ground running?
Hit the floor running.
Hit the floor running. Yes. We are not good with sayings on Millennial Girls. But yeah, so I'm really happy to have you on.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm so excited.
Since I know, Raquel, you guys personally have a relationship with each other. This is my first time meeting him in person.
I know, I'm so excited.
I'm curious to know if you always felt like you were going to be an entrepreneur. Is that something that you felt since you were young?
My biggest thing in life is I've always just been myself. And I think, you know, wherever life takes me, I just go with it. I'm a very nonchalant, like go with the flow type of person. Obviously, yes, I have goals, but after realizing I could work for myself and not have a boss and not have people tell me what to do every day, I said, wait, can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I want to work for myself. I want to build this empire, and it hasn't failed yet, so I'm keep going. Worst case, I always say all the time, I'm so young that I could just go and get a job somewhere else. You know, this isn't like, I'm not 50 years old and I have like millions of dollars in debt or something crazy like that. Like, I could always like figure it out. So I think like having fun with your job is number one, always. Like, I don't think if you're working so hard and not having fun, that's not a happy life to me.
No, that's miserable.
Exactly. Like, a happy life to me is like working your ass off, playing hard, working harder, and like, no, working hard, playing harder.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Doing that. See, I can't talk. But yeah, so like doing things like that is really just important to me because me personally, I'm a very social person, as Raquel knows. Yeah. So for me, like, I need to have certain freedoms, and being my own boss affords me that, which I'm so grateful for.
Can you tell us how old you are?
21,
you guys. When I was 21, like, what was I doing?
You guys aren't far off.
I was like half failing school, half passing my classes. Like, I was not. Yeah, I was not there. I just turned 30.
Oh, you just turned 30?
I did. Yeah.
27.
Okay, so you guys are like in the same realm. I'm in like an expedited version of people who are your age, I feel, and I talk to people who are around your age, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm starting a business, that, the other. But like, I went to school, I graduated, I've just like put my nose to the ground and like worked my ass off, and that's like, people are like, what's your secret to success? Working.
Yeah,
getting shit done.
Actually getting shit done.
No excuses. Yeah, like if I have to be up till 2 a.m. writing up a report or a press release or something like that, like I get it done, you know?
What keeps you motivated?
Knowing that I like nice things.
I love it.
I personally have financial responsibility of myself, and I am very grateful to live a nice life, and I don't want to ever sacrifice anything and not have a nice life, if that's corny.
No, of course.
I like nice things, and
but I think that's nice that you know that and you're not afraid to like tell yourself that, because that's where I'm at. I said going into 2021, I was like, I'm done making pennies. Like, because in being on camera, everything you hear is like, oh, you work for free and then you intern and you work your way up and you make so little. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not 22 anymore. Like, I've hosted a radio show afternoon in a major market. Like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Like, we're getting paid what we deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
And I got two job offers right before the new year, and it was for free.
No, that's not a job.
I was like,
that's called slave labor.
I was like,
what
no.
a nice title.
I was like, no, but actually,
On the resume.
I was like, yeah, slave labor. I was like, no.
Job description, slave labor.
But I know people who are in college who would like an internship, so here you go.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy to me.
I think a lot of people's talents are undermined. You know, people always say being so young, when people find out my age, they're like shell shocked. They shit their pants. They're like,
when I first met you, I was like, what?
Yeah. So it's crazy because people are always like, oh, you're young, you don't know what you're talking about, or this, that, the other. You could think that. That's totally fine. But I have clients who know what I do is super successful for them because they've gotten a huge result that my work speaks for itself in that way.
No, I mean, totally.
So besides your obviously super hard work ethic, and not everybody is born that way, like, and obviously you have an entrepreneurial spirit, that's just part of your nature, and that's something that I think that I've had for a long time too, especially because I grew up with a mother that was an entrepreneur as well, so that's an influence in the household.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah. But you have like levels of it. So like clearly at 21 years old and you're successful, you obviously are like, you know, over the 10, right? I might be at like a level 7, 8.
And that's okay.
And then there's people that like, you know, you might not be an entrepreneur, but even, you know, if you're working your job or you want to be the best at what you're doing or, you know, do the 9-to-5 thing, that's fine too, right?
Yeah, I think it's okay. A lot of people are like, oh, you know what? I'm jealous of you or I want to be in your position. I'm like, no, like, do what works for you. I think, you know, like what you said, like I might be at a 10 with my energy and my worth ethic and this, that, and that's okay to not, I think you should put your all into everything, yes, but I think it's okay to not do the most all the time. Some people like to genuinely work for other people and know, like, I have a 9-to-5 and like I get to clock out and go the fuck home and not deal with stress. But I get 3 a.m. phone calls. Oh my God, I just did this and it's going to end up in TMZ tomorrow. You have to deal with this right then and there. You know what? It also affords me that when I want to go on a vacation, I could do that, obviously not during COVID, but when I want to go on a vacation, when I want to go to lunches, when I want to do whatever, I can take off and do certain things where people have to work a 9-to-5.
Right. And I guess my next question would be, what are the steps that it took you to get to where you are now? Because of course, when you started, it wasn't just like, okay, ultra success, like the first day.
Success is not handed to you. If it can be handed to you, great, take it and run with it. But no, I built my business and my name and my reputation off of just being myself and being honest with people and just networking. You know, how I met Raquel was through a mutual friend. She knew Raquel as well, Jacqueline, and it's just everything kind of, you know, coincides with each other. And especially in South Florida, I realized your name is your reputation. And, you know, when one person knows you, 1 million people know you. And, you know, just keeping your name out there, just staying relevant, going to certain charity events. I think that's a great way to network, especially for people who are younger. Take internships. I interned. I did shit for free. There's still certain things that I do just to say that I worked with XYZ where I don't charge my full amount. You know, if it's worth it for me to take that risk of, you know, not making an extra few $100s or whatever the case may be, I take that risk and say, you know what, that name can help me in the future to say, I've worked with so-and-so and I've done this, this, and this, because that really helps you. And all your previous work is your resume. And I think it's really important to do that. And also social media, I think, is key. Like for me, I'm young. A lot of people my age are out partying all the time, doing certain things. You'll never see me like posting like getting bottle service at a club, like shit faced. Like that's not who I am as a person, but I would never post that. And I think a lot of people try to like quote unquote flex in that way. And like, I don't like that. Like people are like going shopping every day, like posting like, oh, I just went to Gucci, I went to Louis here and there and there. And it's like, okay, like I don't take you seriously because like that doesn't matter. If I went to the store every single day and posted about it, people would think I'm crazy. I shop a lot. I do. But we all like to shop.
We like nice things.
Yeah, we like nice things. But I don't have to show it to the world. And I think that means a lot to people. And, you know, if you guys watch my Instagram stories, like I'm always talking about what I'm doing business-wise. It's like, yes, it's personal, but like talking about your business and opening about your struggles is really important because I don't think it shows weakness. I think it shows strength that you could talk about your struggles in life.
It shows you being a real person too. I think that's the biggest thing too. And I think that's where we're kind of transitioning now. We've had an episode on social media where everything was like perfect, unicorn, butterflies, everyone's making a gajillion dollars and nothing is wrong with my life. And now we're transitioning into the point where everyone's like, this happened to me today. Oh my God, it was so awful. Like just being really honest, because now we're past the point where everything's perfect, especially in a global pandemic still, almost a year later. Like shit's not perfect.
No.
It is not going to be anywhere near perfect anytime soon.
Yeah. I think that's a big realization that people don't have, and they put on this facade on social media, and I think that really affects you. And I know people who work in the same space I do, and they post all these crazy things, and they're always like looking for clients, and because they can't maintain their reputation. And I always say, like, your social media is your personal press release, so make sure that your personal social media is like tight and right and doing the best possible.
Has there ever been an instance where you were like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be recovering from this one?
In what way?
I don't know, just any way where you were like
a work situation?
Yeah, a work situation.
I think things get thrown at me all the time. I'm a problem solver. So I have clients that say, literally, here's the issue. Either I fucked up or someone else fucked up and my name's attached to it. Figure it out. And I get to figure it out, and the phone hangs up, and then Antonio has to figure it out. I've done crisis management for people who have had a lot of public incidents with the law. And, you know, to me, that's when my adrenaline starts going. And that's when I'm like, all right, now I got to think on my feet. And not only like, obviously everyone manages themselves. You have to manage your life, whether, you know, you work for someone or whatever. You have to manage your schedule, this, that, the other. I do that for people on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like,
that is
I'm
scary.
21 years old.
I don't.
That's a lot
There's
of pressure.
adults that have like me running their daily lives. And I'm like,
how does it make you feel being with that age gap?
I love it. I think it's amazing. And like my clients love it because they laugh, because they're like, when we go into like big meetings with like huge CEOs, they're all like, damn, you just like own that room. Like you're 21 and I would never be. Yeah, exactly. Like mic drop everything. I just have fun what I do, and I love what I do, and I think it shows in the results, and my clients love that too.
I love that. Can you explain exactly what it is that you do?
Yes.
And
so
who do you work with?
I own Unfiltered PR. It's a full service public relations and social media agency. I help brands, influencers, celebrities basically connect and build themselves and take them to another level. I'm very creative. So a lot of different, you know, content plannings or, you know, influencer collaboration deals, or, you know, some of my clients are on TV. I work with a lot of reality TV personalities. I'm known for working with Real Housewives. I've been coined like the Housewives Whisperer because I've worked with like, I think it's probably like 40 something by now. In like
40?
over
God.
in like different stages of their careers, whether
okay,
it's like a one-off or like full-on management. It really depends. But yeah, no, I've just built a network of people that are in a certain community that help get their voices out on social media. So that's been something that's really worked for me in my business. And I do private coaching for people who like own small businesses. I do a lot of hyper-local in South Florida. Basically, you name it in the PR, entertainment, marketing space, I could do it. If I don't know it's just like whatever it might be. If I don't know how to do it, I have friends who do, and we can all collaborate and work together.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. And I think that's a special thing about PR, especially because when I was in LA a few months back, I was speaking to somebody that does PR as well, and she was really young, and she was saying the same thing. She's like, I'm not here to compete with, you know, all these other people that are in PR as well. I might know somebody that might be better for you for this or for that. And I think that's cool, because especially in, you know, the times that we're in now and just the spaces that we can, you know, be presented with or be in, a lot of times we're comparing ourselves or trying to be better than the other. And I'm not saying you still don't have the goal to be the best, but you can also still, you know, respect your peers and collaborate with them too and hype them up too. Like, just because you and another person are doing that same thing or in the same industry doesn't 100%. Mean that you have to be like, you know, against each other.
No, I think being respectful is, and that's one of the reasons why we got so close. We literally met at a bar. We were introduced by a mutual friend, and we were just talking about everything. And I mean, let's be honest, here in South Florida, like, there's not many people who actually have been in the entertainment industry for a long time and have gone through different stages of it. And so we were just like clicking and talking, and I was like, he gets it. And he's one of the people who is nice and like respectful and is down to help each other and help one another. And that's why we got so close, because it's such a breath of fresh air, and everyone's like, oh, that's not how it is. And I'm like, no, it comes back
tenfold to you. Exactly. And not everyone has to be a bitch about everything. And like, oh, did it, and be so secretive. Like, if I can give someone a contact, like, I'll do it. Like what we were just talking about before, like, oh, if I can introduce you, why not? Unless it's physically taking my client and giving it to you, and it's not going to hurt me, and it could help me by helping two other people, then like, who cares? It's not that big of a deal.
No. And it's like good karma. Everything is good karma. That happened to me the other day. Someone asked me for a contact. I was like, yeah, sure, here. And she was like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, good karma.
Exactly. Yeah, like throw that 2021. We need good karma.
Good karma out there. Like, what do you want? want.
right now.
Just throw your cell phone at strangers at this point.
Take my whole contact list if you want
seriously. Who do you want?
Oh my gosh. So another question that I have for you is, I think a lot of people underestimate, what you see on social. So you're seeing the influencer life. You see kind of like what Raquel was saying earlier, just like this, perfection of a life. But I feel like a lot of people that are, getting money and getting paid for this kind of job or being in PR or entertainment or whatever it is, there's a lot of sacrifice involved. And I feel like that's the side of business that everybody else doesn't see. So yes, you might be putting to light that you're, besties with one of the Real Housewives, but at the same time, it's like, you don't know what it took me to get to this
there.
point.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what are some of the things that you had to sacrifice?
I think, so I went to school, I went to Lynn University here in Boca Raton, Florida, and every single night, probably like during season, because we all know season down here is crazy busy. So during season, I would go to charity events 3-4 times a week, and my friends would all be out, partying and doing like college
They'd be out
things.
at like
Yeah, literally, like Blue Martini on a Thursday night, and I would literally be like, oh, I'm at a charity event with like people who are like older than like my grandma,
Right.
and like just networking and meeting people and building up these connections, because people and people are selfish. They like, what can you do for me? Not what can I do for you? It's what can you do for me? So if you give them what you could do for them, they'll be more receptive to working with you. And I think it's a really big thing it's a lot of reverse psychology. People like their ego to be stroked, and like people love to hear things all the time. I'm not a person who blows smoke up someone's ass. So like there's people who've like said like, oh, don't I look so good here? Like want the attention. And I'm like, it's business. I really don't care. But I understand why people do that. Yeah, people all the time are like, tell me I look good in this photo, right? I'm like,
God.
no, fuck off.
No, see, but that's where I'd be like, no, I want you to tell me what's wrong. Like, what, should
well, that's why I'm always like, okay, it's not about you. Like, let's just get back to business. But I think the sacrifice is just having to be mature at a certain age where others don't, And I look back now, and do I regret it? Not at all, because those people are still asking their mom to like go to Applebee's for dinner on a Friday night, and I don't need to.
Great, Raquel.
But
even if
it's like, did she like Applebee's that much?
No, but I was like, I haven't heard the word Applebee's.
did you like Applebee's?
No,
I thought she liked it. So I was like, fuck, did I say something wrong?
No, I literally was like, wait, I haven't heard. Is Applebee's open?
I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Like they still have to ask their parents to go out. Like I always, even in college, like I always worked and I always had something going on. When I was in college, I started building my business, and I always look at people and it's like, you have to rely on your parents still, which is okay. Some people, I get it, but like, don't flex with your parents' money. That pisses me off so
true.
much.
That's all. That's all Boca.
No,
it's
all
literally
Boca.
all Boca. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, well, not everyone is humble. Let's put it that way. But
Totally.
And I feel like that's something that I've heard, from several people before that had to sacrifice, or like all my friends were out partying and I was the one that was, stuck doing my homework or whatever it was, to get my PhD or something. And it's like, it's crazy because in those moments, and I don't want to knock off on any of the charity events and whatever, but I'm just saying, like, in those moments, did you ever have a feeling like, God, I wish I was at the party too, like with my friends?
Yeah, all the time. I was like, why the fuck am I here? But you know what? All those times they said that to myself, as I would walk in somewhere, I made connections that are priceless. Yep. And that it either made me money or opened doors for me that you can't buy to open certain doors in this world. Especially in South Florida, in the social scene, there's certain doors that you need to unlock yourself.
I know for sure.
So you have to just get out there and do it. And I think the little sacrifice that I had for a few years now paid off, and I have a lifestyle and a business and that people dream of.
I mean, listen, anyone
grateful.
who works very, very hard, there's always going to be moments that are like, why am I here? What am I doing? Like, I wish I was out at happy hour with my friends, but I mean, you're doing it because you love it and you want to be your own boss. And if you want to be your own boss, you have to be the one to hustle.
Absolutely. And if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
Correct.
I truly don't. I think I worked a few days in my life, but
because
some days in
3 a.m. panic
some of those
calls.
like 3 a.m. calls aren't my favorite, but they pay the bills, which is great. But no, I think it's all about like loving what you do, and I truly love what I do. Like I can go on a tangent for 10,000 hours talking about what I do, and people will be like, "Shut the fuck up already."
We get it. You love it.
Exactly. But I truly love what I do, and I think it shows that, that's why your success comes to you, is because you're passionate about what you do. People do things just to like a get rich quick scheme. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. It's like, it's hustle my ass to be a millionaire.
Yeah, no, you have to build. I think that's the biggest like misconception too about our generation is it's just handed to you.
Yep.
Or like, oh my God, overnight you can be, you know, and it's like, no, there's like a slow progression.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before, but I'd rather like slowly progress and like actually accomplish things than just have everything handed to you and then you're like, what now? Or
100%.
like something happens and then you're like, I don't know how to deal with this because I haven't had that upward like
Right. Well, no, and
fall.
that's the thing too with a lot of the overnight stars, especially with like the TikTokers that are becoming, you know, blowing up like overnight, especially in their cases, and they're young too. I mean, you know, the 18-year-olds and
The
those
K-pop
are
fans.
Yeah, like those are the moments where you have to have someone like you, for example, that can manage whatever's going to come next, because just because you blow up overnight and oh my God, you might make a contract and make sponsorship deals, you still have to upkeep that reputation throughout and after that. Like there's still work to be done. Just because you became famous that night or that day,
Yep.
And they're so young too.
you have
I
a
feel
reputation to keep, then there's going to be scandals that you're going to have to deal with and all that stuff. So it's just, yeah.
But I think, yeah, like what you said, like you have this overnight success. I always look at it as like you lit the match. The match can either burn to the end,
Yep.
and the end is your death, obviously. Hopefully not tragic.
I mean, hopefully not like
But
literal.
hopefully it's not like whatever.
The
but
death
like,
of your career.
The match could just like spark and then go out, and you could literally just be lightning in a bottle, one hit wonder, or
Yeah.
you can, you know, be the next biggest thing. I always refer to her because I think she's built probably one of the biggest brands ever, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
She hit lightning in a bottle. She kept the lightning in the bottle. She shook it up 10,000 times, and look where they're at today.
Yeah.
They're worth millions of dollars. They don't have to
Yeah.
work.
Right.
You know, and their names are everywhere. Every single person knows who Kim Kardashian is.
Yeah, on the planet, on the entire planet.
Yes, it's scary. It's scary, but a good scary,
Yeah.
obviously.
I don't know. I mean, she dictates she dictates our lives. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really what it is.
Seriously, Kanye for president.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy time right now.
Yeah.
There's just so much transition, especially with everything becoming digital.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, you're obviously doing a lot of representation online, and those moments where people are telling you that they're scared to post or they're scared to use their voice. What do you do to console that situation?
So I always say, do what is right to you. I think it's really hard. I think obviously with like politics and religion and certain things, it gets tricky, and you don't want to ever offend anyone. So I think just doing what you think is right and making sure that you're not offending other people. I think that's the biggest thing. Like just
Yeah.
making sure that like you're not really hurting people. You know, I think people always assume certain things, or you could say something, and if you don't know, have that open dialogue, have that open discussion. And I think educate yourself is just really important about like whatever topic it is, whether it's something super heavy or super light. You know, I think just educate yourself and like go into it with knowledge and facts, not always your opinion, because I think obviously opinions, everyone has one. So it's really tricky, actually. It's very, very tricky.
I think like what's the one piece of advice you would give to someone right now? It's a new year. We're still in this crazy time, who wants to become an entrepreneur.
I think stay positive. I think, you know, COVID has been very hard on a lot of local businesses. And that's a struggle that they're like, what do I do? And I'm like, do what you think is right. You know, there's obviously every place is different with CDC guidelines. They are recommending doing certain things. Certain governments are issuing certain things. So I think follow the rules that your government is giving you. And obviously do what you can to just give back to others as well. I think that's really important. Not just take for yourself, to give back to others. Because right now, everyone needs help. I don't think there's one person except for like Jeff Bezos who's like not struggling.
Right.
So, you know, like whether
Totally.
it's personally or professionally, whatever it is, I think giving back is super important. So I think if you're looking to start a business, do something that, you know, not only is going to help you, but to help other people. Solve a problem when you have a business. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you know, the problem that I solve for people is they might not know how to get out there publicly, or they may not know how to negotiate a deal or how to do social media really well. So that's where I come in. I solve the problem. Figure out what you're going to solve for the world, whether it's, you know, starting a hot dog cart or, you know, a new Amazon.
Yeah, I love it.
Then give people something.
No, trust me, in the last 2 months after Christmas, I was like Googling everything about Amazon shops. That's everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's crazy. There's so much information out there.
Yeah.
Luckily, like now, because I remember back in the day when I was, you know, looking at e-commerce years ago, I did not have access to all the information that I have now, let me tell you. So
Totally.
it's crazy. You
And I
can,
think it's good. The internet is your friend to learn
Yeah.
how to do
Totally.
things. YouTube is great. Like I Google things, YouTube things all the time, and I'm like, how the fuck do I do this?
yeah,
And like,
Yeah.
you find your answers
YouTube
immediately.
is your best friend.
yeah, and it's like you could create this like resource group that, you know, on social media. There's so many people that do what I do, and like I learn from others, and I think that's something that's really big. Is your education should never stop.
No,
I think
of course.
people are like, oh, I graduated, this, that, the other. Like, I know it all. I don't know it all. I'm probably will never know it all. Throwing it out there now, you know?
I mean,
and it's okay to be that because I'm always learning. Every day I learn something new.
Yeah, of course.
Love it.
I want to get a little bit into the housewife stuff.
Let's
I know
do it.
I'm personally not like a huge housewife fan.
Okay.
Don't shoot me, anybody,
Yeah,
okay?
seriously, the housewife
I don't
part.
follow that. Yeah, like I'm different from the rest, I guess. But
Yeah.
I know that you're a fan, and I know most people are fans.
Yeah.
So is there
No
anything
way
that
we're
we should
so
ask
fans.
him that would be like juice or the tea?
Ask me anything.
I mean, I don't.
I mean, like
know.
not knowing that much about the shows. I've watched, I've followed like some of like the Jersey or like New York, but like years ago.
Is it
Like
real?
I don't.
Like, is any of it real?
So it's TV. You're seeing a clip of a moment. So we could all go to lunch.
Yeah.
We could all have a conversation. It's television. They're
gonna
want to
spice it
take.
up.
They're gonna spice it up. Is it a real conversation? Yes. The way you see it, sometimes it doesn't come out directly as delivered. You know, they obviously have to edit things. They have to do something to get a viewership.
Stir the pot.
Yeah, stirring the pot. Trust me, cast members do that on their own.
Yeah.
Sometimes editing isn't even needed. But no, obviously it's edited down conversation. So yes, is it real? But they know that there's cameras. They know that they're being filmed. So for people to be like, it's 100% authentic. Some people probably wouldn't confront people as much, you know, but because you're put in a situation where it's like, you know, you two have lunch today, you guys had an issue. Okay, but you still have to go to lunch with like all your other friends.
Right.
So it kind of comes up and it's like, well, what are we going to talk about? My dog who I just amputated its leg? No, we're going to talk about, that was a little harsh. But we're going to talk about, you know, the issue that you guys have that, you know, she didn't pick you up on the way there and you were really annoyed at it and she called you ugly.
Wow.
I can't. Well, that's a good scenario. No, because I was, okay, like even with radio, for example, like when Raquel and I were doing radio, we're obviously like reporting a lot of music news and such like that.
Yeah.
But even in those places, like when I was doing morning show with another guy who was the host that was like the comedic relief in the situation, I would always just have to like bounce off of whatever it was that he was doing. So it ends up kind of turning into a skit anyways.
Totally.
And it's not that it's not real, and yes, of course, sometimes you embellish things or make it because you don't care what people are gonna think at that point.
Yeah, let's be honest, you're doing it for the camera. You want the attention. That's the goal.
That's why you're on the damn show.
Duh.
Hello.
Like, do you think we all have this much energy all the time? No, I like to sit in sweatpants on the couch.
Just kidding.
Yes, I kind of do. But,
I kind of definitely have it,
we
but
kind of do. But not everyone does. You know, I have clients who are very like loud and exciting on camera, but in their personal lives, they're very chill. Like, they won't be dancing on a table at every restaurant they go to. Sorry to break it to you.
No, it's true. It's
You know?
sorry, that's not real life.
There are moments where like I would record stories of myself after coming from radio, and on radio you're like, hey, oh, Peppy, like I'm having a great time, always smiling while you're speaking, right? Because that's what you're hearing. And then when I'm like doing my story, I'm like in my pajamas, like almost like half asleep, and you're like, is something wrong with you, Natasha? Like, no, this is actually how I really am,
totally.
you know?
People
Like,
also don't realize that it's so emotionally exhausting too. And I think after, you know, working red carpets and stuff like that, like I did a 12-hour red carpet once and I could not move for 2 days. Because
Such first world problems
literally,
we have.
I know, but like,
so funny.
but
I do
still,
the same
you know,
thing.
but
Yeah.
like seriously, like
It's work.
You have to be on.
People
on
think
them.
like, oh, you're just being fabulous on a red carpet. No, you have to know who the people are. You have to ask the right questions. You have to know like what is potentially going to be next and get that moment, because that one clip of you asking one person a question could make or break your career.
That's how we ended up in Billboard magazine. So
Exactly. Exactly. One thing can make or break you. And I think in this profession, people require a lot from you. And they're like, well, you know, like you should be my little circus pony over here. Like work. Come on,
Dance,
work.
monkey, dance.
Yeah, literally. So it's like, keep going, keep going, keep going. But they're like, I'm a human too. And I don't think people realize that.
Yeah. No.
Like when you see celebrities out, don't go up to them and say hi unless you're like a diehard fan. And don't start screaming, yelling, and crying.
Raquel
probably doesn't
yeah, you
tell
just
everyone.
broke all her K-pop dreams.
Oh my god, no. I literally, in my head, that's what happens. But
That's
like
so
in
funny.
real life, I'm like, oh, I'm so cool, I'm so chill.
No, but I go out with my clients who are well known all the time, and they're just like, it gets frustrating when people are like, oh my god, you know, like as much as people want to say hi, it does
hard.
get annoying. They don't mind it though. For me, I always know since I see the side of celebrity, because they don't say no.
Right.
All the people I work with don't say no, and that's why I love the people I work with. They always say hi, but it's like it does get exhausted. So I feel bad for them.
No, I mean you gotta kind of know your place, right?
Yeah.
And, like the place you are. If it's an event and like everyone's meeting and taking
100%.
pictures anyway,
But
like
if they
go
look
for
low
it.
key, just
If
I
they're
always
at
suggest
lunch,
yeah.
in a private conversation, you're not gonna be like,
well, no, like eating, like
Yeah,
even
eating.
like New Year's Eve, we were having dinner, and Jonas Brothers, like a bunch of
right
people
there.
were
Oh,
around,
really?
right?
Where'd you guys go?
Swan.
Oh, everyone was there.
Yeah.
I should have went.
There were, I don't
Well, it
remember.
was last New Year's, obviously not this one.
Oh,
Right.
I don't know if you guys went this year.
Yeah, no. Last
Right,
New Year's.
the one
Oh,
before,
okay.
The one
before COVID.
when the world
Everyone was there
open.
still this
Yeah,
year. So.
So Jonas
what?
Brothers and whoever else, like they're, I mean, obviously their wives and they're all famous, right?
Yeah.
And even in that moment, it's like, you know, people are like, if they're like digging their fork into whatever it is they're
salad,
eating,
into
and then
the
it's like somebody
meatball.
like reaches over and like touches the shoulder to be like, don't, like, you know,
When they're in like the moment of eating, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
Like if you're
like-
physically,
I-
it's so
I
frustrating to me. I'd be like, if someone tapped me on the shoulder when I was eating, I'd be pissed.
I would be pissed too.
But most
Like,
of the time, they're nice about it. Especially my clients that have worked it and people that I've seen, they're also nice about it. I'm
Right.
like, I give you credit because I would say, fuck off, I'm trying to eat my meatball right now.
No, I mean,
meatball.
don't quote me on this, whatever. I don't think I would ever say F off with the meatball.
Oh, no,
but,
I would never.
Right.
In your head.
Like,
Maybe in your head.
I'm like, if that happened, I'd probably be like, yes, like, can I just like finish
Yeah,
my meal?
totally.
And then like, I'll come and take a
Yeah,
picture, you
yeah.
know,
Totally.
acting as if like I'm a celebrity, not. But anyways.
You're not?
I
I
know,
thought you
of
were.
course. Duh.
Everyone should be their own celebrity in their head.
100%.
I am my own celebrity. in my
Be your
head.
own
That's
J-Lo.
why I'm always promoting myself on social media, right?
Trust me, I feel you.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so again, not being a super fan of Housewives, I do
Yeah.
want to know, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know, is there anybody that you work with that you could think off top of mind, that is different than what people might expect from television?
So I think, I'm not a name dropper.
You don't have to.
So I think a lot of people normally see someone on TV and they think that's who they are. But like I said, they're put in this friend group. Like you guys have multiple friend groups as well. So I think people have to realize like you act a certain way around certain friends. Most people do. You know, like some friends you're more comfortable with, some friends you're more buttoned up with. When you're in a group of friends, there's cameras around, tensions are high, you act a little different.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone would. So a lot of people though, honestly, are their true authentic selves, which I absolutely love. And a lot of people that I've worked with over the years are the exact same person that you see on TV. Obviously a little bit different because it's TV, whatever it is.
Embellished.
But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, but they're genuinely, so many people who are in this industry are actually really nice because
that.
they like to they love it. Like they love the fans coming up to them. They love certain things that like, you know, this opportunities that just come their way. They love it. They're so appreciative of it. There are certain people though that do look at it as a negative and they're just like, oh, why does so-and-so want to take my picture? I don't work with anyone that says, no, I won't take a picture with you. Like I have clients who will stop what they're doing, get up and talk to everyone in the room if they have to. And I love that about them. I've seen other people, not just reality stars or housewives, just celebrities that are just so rude to fans. And it's like, without them, you wouldn't be here. I understand you
Correct.
want your moments. And I'm the biggest person to be like, that would annoy the shit out of me. But like, you have to understand it's a give and take. Like you signed up for this job. Your job's public.
Yeah.
You have to go with it. And I tell people that all the time.
If your job is if public figure is in
Yes.
your job title, then you have to know what you're in for. And that's just how it is.
It is. I do like to play devil's advocate. Like I said before, like if someone were to come up to me while I was eating, I would be so annoyed. But you know what? It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. But I
Right.
do get it. It gets annoying, you know, because I see it.
There is that line though, and I think that also though is from like the paparazzi. Like we have grown up in a time where there is no personal space.
No.
And I
Right.
think it'd be different if we had more laws and things were a little bit different. I think obviously the
Totally.
fans would act differently. So
Totally.
It's
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
when
just
you have
what
like
we're-
people outside of your house and it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's like not okay.
That gets
You know,
annoying.
like, yeah, that's not
You
normal.
can't even go to Blake Publix.
You are not normal.
Like, yeah.
And meanwhile, you're in LA doing the tour of the celebrity homes.
But I mean, like, that's the thing. That's why I feel like it's such a weird, like, give and take. Like,
Yeah.
It's not
No,
good, but
totally.
then again, like, this is
No,
the
I'm
normal thing.
I'm guilty. I've never like gone up to a door. No, obviously not. But like I've done the tour where you like go around and like you see them from the van or whatever that you're in.
Yeah.
Like it's part of it. Star Island is right here. We were just talking about it. Like
Yeah.
there's a boat tour here in Miami that you can go and see Jennifer Lopez's house. But like you're in the water. Like unless you're gonna get
Right.
down, swim to her house. Like
Get eaten
not
by a
gonna
shark.
happen.
There probably is crazy people in this world who probably would attempt
did what
to
I
do
just
it.
said.
I had a stalker.
Or you're giving them
Like, I
ideas.
legit had a stalker. So, like,
Really? Why?
Don't
What
do
happened?
it.
no, I had a stalker.
Was it a guy or a girl?
A guy.
Okay.
And-
Did you just think you were pretty? Or because of
Well,
your
I
career?
knew both. I mean, I knew.
Thank God you're not ugly. That's a good one.
I'm just being honest. No, I actually knew him from high school, and we were friends in high school. Long story short, like, I don't know what happened, what the trigger was.
Do you think he's watching this right now? Or
He might be. You never know.
Please
make sure 5 stars. 5
stars.
Leave
But
us a review.
I mean, it ended with like the police having to be called. So
what did he like do?
he
if
was
wanted
like
us to
sending
do?
stuff and like sending me gifts and like.
Were there nice gifts?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I would ask too.
That's,
honestly.
yeah, sorry.
I
Like,
mean,
you know,
they
Like we're like, oh, that doesn't sound that bad.
was it weird sexual gifts, or was it just like,
No,
here's
just-
20 dozen roses?
No, it was like wine and stuff, but like then there was like
Did you drink the wine?
No. But then there was like edible arrangements. I had to call edible arrangement, tell him to like flag the account, and like it was all this stuff, and the police had to get called because then he was like showing up to like Panthers games and like everything.
See, I'm a sucker for an edible arrangement, just throwing it out there to the world. So if anyone wants to send me an edible arrangement, I live in a building. I live in a building where you can't.
What if it's poison?
Edible arrangements dropping it off, not the person.
How do you know? Did you see them drop it off?
I'll ask the front desk people.
No, but I mean, that's true.
It was
I would
just,
probably
like,
eat it all.
Once
Right.
someone knows where you live, it's like very scary.
It's always gonna have a doorman
right
or a gate.
or a gate. Right.
Or-
no, I mean,
yeah, we'll
literally-
start with the gate first.
yeah, literally a gate. But no, but
Raquel in
it's
her
scary.
apartment and she has a doorman waiting and the
Just my door.
like imagine I had a doorman here, like that would be kind of funny. I mean I know there's one in the lobby, but like
Yeah, that's
imagine
what
like
I
a
mean.
personal
Just
one. Like
accepting.
But no, it's
that's
good.
it.
Like
I know,
to get
this
up
is
here
funny.
today, like we needed to
Right.
like go to like I
Right.
live in a building where I have one, so like
No, totally.
you can't get up unless you do the code things.
no, it's
Yeah,
true.
no,
I used to live in like older buildings when I was living in San Francisco. I mean, there was no doorman. It was an old building. It was just like, you know, whatever, 6
Yeah, that
stories
would
or
freak
something.
me out.
Yeah, like it's open
Yeah,
access
yeah.
technically
Well, he
to
lived
the
in my
public.
neighborhood.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you get a restraining order?
No, it didn't.
That's what I thought. But
Does he
can
follow
you?
on Instagram still? Yeah, you can.
They said I technically could, but they said I might not get it because like he basically hasn't caused me harm.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing with this country is until basically someone kills you or attempts to, like you can't really.
No,
get
it's
restraining
true.
order.
Because
So that's
yeah,
what
It's
I
no,
meant.
very
I-
difficult.
Yeah, it is.
I've
Yeah.
had clients who had to deal with that. It's very
Yeah.
difficult. But it can be done. You could
Yeah.
file the motion, but it's like,
It's like a whole to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
well, thanks for watching. If you're watching,
I love how he's like, I'm
I
cutting
do like
it. That's
edible
it.
arrangements.
We're
I'll give
done.
them to Raquel.
I mean, I love them. If you want to send me one, that's fine.
No,
or
it's
like
fine.
vice
I'm
versa.
good. I'm
But
good. I'll send you my address.
perfect.
No, I love it. No, thanks for joining us. And I think it's really cool not only to like just share your motivation and your
Totally.
passion, but also, you know, I like that you have this method of like keeping a lot of positivity around.
Yeah, positive is key.
Yeah, that's a huge
Totally.
thing. Like you're dealing with people that deal with negative on a daily basis, but you're not dealing with the people that are negative themselves.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really cool and a very good message I think to pass along in general is as much as you can. I know you can't avoid this because it's your job, but keep the drama out of your life.
Yeah.
Try to
Stay
keep positive
My
people
life
around.
is so drama free, which is the best part about it. Everyone's
It's
like,
everyone else's.
I'm like, I deal with everyone else's drama, so I
Right.
don't want that around me. But no, positivity is key, and surrounding yourself with good people. Like I said before,
Yes.
all my clients are nice people. They're good-hearted people. I could call 90% of my clients and say, "Hey, I need to stay with you," and they'd be like, "Sure, come," and
Love it.
let me stay at their house for as long as I needed, which I think is
I love
awesome.
it.
And I think it's cool too having all of them having that platform can really create that nice community. Like you
Yeah.
said, so being that person that if a fan is coming up to you and trying to bother you while you're eating your meatball,
Yeah.
and if you're the person that's like, no, I don't want to deal with you, imagine the community around that. I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume there's going to be much more trolling. There's going to be a lot more negative energy
Totally.
around that.
And that's why I don't work with
Versus-
those people.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you have somebody like this, I mean, yes, of course, you will still have negative comments and such, but
Absolutely.
if you're like radiating that positive energy, I think it's a blessing to be able to have the platform and the community to do that.
Good
'Cause you're-
vibe tribe.
You're creating it. That's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You guys are doing it. You're not trying to. You
Yeah.
we
are.
are.
We
Sorry.
are.
See, it's all about word association.
We
We
are.
okay. We own it. No trying. We do it.
Good vibe
Yes.
tribe. Mm.
Always.
Oh my gosh! Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course, and guys, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, YouTube, follow us on social media. You can follow our personals too. We're cool at Raquel Goldie.
At Antonio Postorino.
And at Natasha Salahi.
5-star review, please, on
Yeah,
Apple
please.
Podcast.
Spirit fingers.
And of course, what we say here, we say peace, love, and unicorns. So we'll say it. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Peace, love, and unicorns.